Shadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lalita Sri Vishakhantam
Krishna Maharaj,
Hare Krishna.
welcome to Kanya Desh.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Shivaguna Prabhu, you can proceed the introduction.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Thank you Maharaj, thank you very much for accepting our invitation and giving your valuable time. Maharaj, with your permission, we will introduce to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Hare Krishna devotees, we are very, very fortunate to have with us His Holiness Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj. Maharaj was born in Odisha Sahasra Brahmin family in 1st of August 1944. Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj worked as a research biochemist in Purvashrama, both in East Africa and USA. Within a week of arrival in the USA, he had association of the disciples of His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Circumstances led Maharaj to give up mundane research and take full shelter of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Since before his first initiation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada in 1977 in New York, Vedavyasa Priya Swami Maharaj had served the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in various capacities, including personal secretary to the GBC, president of ISKCON of Queens, New York, director of Bharatiya Community Services in New Vrindavan, West Virginia. After 1987, Maharaj shifted attention to serving India following the instruction of Srila Prabhupada that every Indian trained in the West must help to serve in India. Since 1991, Maharaj has been based in Vrindavan, India, and his services have included overseeing the functioning of one of ashrama in Vrindavan and also Bharatpur Ashrama, and wider services of regional secretary in Punjab and Haryana, and as chairman of North Indian Temples Divisional Council for 7 years following its inception. Since 1988, Maharaj has been serving Srila Prabhupada and his movement as a spiritual authority in the form of an initiating spiritual master, and has been preaching far and wide throughout the world the message of Guru and Krishna. He is currently free from management duties, making a full commitment to giving spiritual guidance, preaching and teaching to devotees to all levels of advancement in Krishna conscious philosophy, sadhana, deity worship and temple seva. This is a very brief profile of Maharaj. So we are very fortunate to have association of Maharaj. We would like to offer our humble obeisances from Kanyadesh to Maharaj, and also like to welcome Maharaj enthusiastically by chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 3 times. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Thank you, Maharaj. Over to you, Maharaj.
So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 2 and text number 34. And the subject of contents of Gita summarized. The second chapter is a summary of एक मिनट Haribol. Forget it. ठीक है Haribol. Jai. So Srila Prabhupada put this subject matter as a summary study of Bhagavad Gita. Some people think that chapter number 18th is called summary study. But the contents of the second chapter traditionally is called Sankhya Yoga, but Prabhupada puts the Sankhya Yoga, which is non-different than Bhakti Yoga, or Buddhi Yoga, which is also said to be non-different than Bhakti Yoga. So Sankhya, Buddhi, and Bhakti, all three things have been summarized to drive the point that whatever Krishna is advising, even to dispel the moroseness of Arjuna, not to fight against his kinsmen, Krishna is putting not, it is the illusion, and Bhakti Yoga can remove it. This illusion, Sankhya Yoga, the systematic, introduction to Bhakti from the active work to the work of devotion, which is the same thing. That is also conclusion. And to cultivate Krishna conscious intelligence, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, which has been described in this chapter, is also the same as the conclusion of Bhakti Yoga. So there is no difference between Bhakti Yoga and Sankhya Yoga and Buddhi Yoga, which are the three yogas described here. Now, this is going to be applicable to everyone who is in the field of his God-given work or the inclination to work in a particular sector of life according to the impelling modes of material nature. But that work can also be employed as bhakti. So everybody has to learn the lesson in the way Krishna is teaching. Now, this particular verse, number 34, that we will touch, is also very important in this relationship. So please pay attention. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter number 2, text number 34. Akirtim chapi bhutani kathishyanti te avyayam sambhavitasya chakirtir maranatati irchyate. Akirtim means infamy, cha also, api over and above, bhutani all people, kathishyanti will speak, they of you, avyayam forever, sambhavitasya for a respectable man, cha also, akirtihi ill fame, maranat then death, atirichyate becomes more. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, Dishonor is worse than death. Both as friend and philosopher to Arjuna, Lord Krishna now gives his final judgment regarding Arjuna's refusal to fight. Lord says, Arjuna, if you leave the battlefield before the battle even begins, people will call you a coward. And if you think that people may call you the bad names, but that you will save your life by fleeing the battlefield, then my advice is that you would do better to die in a battlefield. For a respectable man like you, ill fame is worse than death. So you should not flee for the fear of your life. Better to die in the battle. That will save you from the ill fame of misusing my friendship and from losing your prestige in society. So the final judgment of the Lord was for Arjuna to die in the battle and not withdraw. Om Ajnanatimirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanutanscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Shri Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarasate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So, in the previous verses, Krishna Bhagavan reiterated the same truth, and he was discouraging Arjuna from his decision to not to fight. He gave the positive result to adhere to his Swadharma. Now, people do not understand Swadharma. Swadharma is the utilization of Lord Krishna's energy in service of him. That is the dharma of Atma. But we have the medium of the body. So body is also called Swa. But the body is constituted with the three modes of material nature and its combinations. So according to the constitution of human body, where Rajo Adhika Karma Para situation is there. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the ninth creation of Brahma is human being. There it is explicitly said that Aravak Strotratu Navamam Kshattam Eko Vidhondranam Rajo Adhika Karma Para Dukhe Cha Sukhamani. The constitution of human body is that it is composed of more Rajoguna. The portion of Rajoguna is more. Therefore, the activities of human being is karma para, means always remain busy, acting. Some are acting just for the self-preservation. Others are acting for sense gratification. The third one may be acting on behalf of others. But the karma para situation is there. And because of mode of passion is more, we have to apply within our own livelihood too. You came all the way to Kuwait, giving up India, just for becoming pretty busy in maintaining the family and other obligations. But how can we serve Krishna? That is the Swadharma. But Krishna is encouraging not to give up the bodily conception of life and the activities pertaining to our own constitution in the modes of material nature. Krishna is encouraging, you can use whatever you have got. You may be an engineer, somebody may be scientist, another may be teacher. So it all depends. These are the dictates of the modes of material nature that give us a particular type of engagement that is okay for Krishna. Swadharma. But if you change your activity all of a sudden, it may not be congenial to either body, mind, or soul. And it will create a kind of reaction that will be difficult to cope up, that you were used to before. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructs us, the sthane sthitaha, you stay wherever you are in your occupational duties. But Shruti Gatam Tanu Vangbanubhi. You have to just dovetail all the results through the verdict of the Shastra. Krishna permits us to work even hard in the material existence. Maybe too much obsession with the work is not congenial for the soul, and it's swadharma. But mentally we are not prepared. Intellectually we may be prepared, but still to rise above the bodily conception, to the mental conception, to the intellectual conception, and to the soul conception, it takes time. And Krishna has awarded everybody the different stages of their physical growth and intelligent growth also. So in that way, we should not give up artificially and try to take up somebody else's dharma. Now, swadharme nidanam shreya, paradharma bhayava. If we are executing the swadharma according to our bodily conception, Arjuna was a kshatriya, and a kshatriya should not give up his duty. Kshatriya should not give up his duty. Ultimately, we know Arjuna was given the intelligence to understand this is Krishna's desire, so you fight for him. Don't fight for yourself and your end of the family preservation. No. It is Krishna's desire, so you become an instrument in the hands of Krishna. So that will transcend from the physical occupation to the transcendental occupation. You follow? Arjuna, if he takes up the advice of Lord Shri Krishna without any hesitation, which later he does, he transcends the same occupation of the physical nature, but for the sake of Krishna's pleasure, he is fighting. And that sense we have to also imply in our life. If we are doing the service of an engineer, but for the pleasure of Krishna, has been done, in different phases. That if we do not become ready within our occupation, material occupation, to sacrifice then we should contribute our hard-earned money, that is the result for Krishna's pleasure. Even if we cannot do that part, Krishna says, okay, give me your intelligence, and you engage your intelligence in my work. And if you do not have that intelligence, then chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is the service by Vacha. How to engage our proclivity and affordable chance of whatever. Etanvan Janma Safalyam, Thai Diya Vacha Archanam. Serve Lord's life by performing his swadharma or occupational duty. If not, then give some results. Artha in service of Lord Shri Krishna. If not, then give your intelligence. If you don't have intelligence to give up, then just chant Hare Krishna, Vacha. Just glorify the Lord from the scriptures. But we need to perform this activity, which is the Vishnu, in any of these spaces. So, Krishna shows the resultant, fear that will be lurching if he fails his occupational duty for the sake of pretext and not performing. What will happen? So,
Hare Krishna Maharaj, yes. In between, little bit, the net connection was, voice was breaking, Maharaj. Yeah, now it's okay, better.
So, Krishna is advising him to fight, but fight for the sake of the fight. His presence will be always beneficial for his future. If he dies, then he will go to Svargaloka, because that is his God-given duty for the benefit of the people in general. So if one sacrifices his life, then naturally the better result is available up to the Svargaloka. But that is material in nature. But still, it is giving a higher result than to be born in a very controversial situation, which is actually caused them hard struggle for existence right from the childhood. They were harassed by Duryodhana and party right from childhood. Duryodhana always was looking for their extermination so he can rule the world without any rival. So in this way, we understand that this Swadharma, even if it is a bodily conception, Swa means the body, Swa means the mind, Swa means the intelligence also, and Swa means the soul itself also. But these are higher ups. The occupation for the soul is called Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. The intelligence pertaining to the occupation of the soul is only one, and that is to serve Lord Shri Krishna. So how one can be pulled up from working even fruity activities can be made a devotee to ultimately sacrifice his life and soul's work for pleasure of Krishna alone. That is devotional service. Service is there, but devotion is not there. Devotion was for his family members, even his rivals, Kaurava. He was still considering his enemies as his family members. And that creates what you call an attachment of the bodily conception of life, which is also deeply rooted in the mental conception of the faithfulness of the family traditions. And intelligently also, he thinks that if he kills his kinsmen, their wives will become unchaste and they will be, ultimately he will become the cause of creating unwanted population and so forth and so on. But this is not the matter of mundane logic. Anybody can convince Lord Krishna. Krishna defies everything. But how to bring one gradually to his shelter and surrender, to solely dedicate his life for the pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna. He requires an appropriate guru for that. Krishna is acting here as both guru and a friend. So the spiritual guidance is given. Now, Krishna is not encouraging us to only material guidance. No. Don't misunderstand that. But it is a gradual step for those who are not taking up devotional service directly. This is the way to engage them. And Krishna is very, very transcendentally, pushing Arjuna to take up the process of Krishna consciousness in his job as a Kshatriya. His job as a Kshatriya. So we should also employ this process that Krishna has shown for making Arjuna as an instrument for this knowledge, but it is applicable to each and every one of us, and we need to ponder how we can ultimately come to surrender our life's work for the pleasure of Krishna. So this is an important lesson, that the conclusion is that you better die for your benefit to go to Svargaloka, which is a higher up situation. And there, amongst the demigods, of course, you are the son of your father Indra. So you will go to Svargaloka, and Svarga Dwaram Apavrutam. And you die here, what is the gain? So at least to have some material benefit, which will be a little lasting long, it will put you in a better position amongst the demigods. So better die in the like a Kshatriya dies on the battlefield. He doesn't have any cause to take up somebody else's material nature and artificially conduct, but because it is impossible. Arjuna is a Kshatriya. Lot of Rajagun is flowing in him. And he is talking like a benevolent person who is willing to sacrifice for others. That means he has a bent towards a mode of goodness. But this goodness, material goodness, is always mixed with Rajagun, which will be dissatisfying him anyway. Many a times, many people do benevolent work, but the result is not satisfactory even to them. What to speak of Lord Krishna? So they regret, oh, I gave the charity to the wrong person. He befooled me. But who said that you are supposed to give the charity to like that? No. People take in their hand, not analyzing their own nature, and they give it to the persons who are not deserving. So it is their own fault. So Krishna is the ultimate recipient anyway. So he is the most deserving person for our sacrifices, for his pleasure. Even though he is the giver of everything, but he is also taker of everything. So that is the highest obligations. As far as our good sense in mode of goodness, we are told that we are obligated to our father, mother, even the devatas and rishis and so forth and so on. We are obligated because they are the one who become instrumental in the material world. So we are obligated to our parents. And we got the guidance from the good culture society, which was guided by the rishis and intelligent thinkers. So Devarshi Bhutaptan Ranam Pitrunam. Nayam Kinkarocha Narapatim Charajan. Even we are obligated to Narapati. Narapati means the king or the government. Aren't we made to pay income tax to the government? That is an obligation because we earn. We send money to our fathers and others. We do oblations to our forefathers. We spend money after them. We do Brahma Bhojan. It is nothing. In material world, you have to contribute to the society also. Even a servant does not work free for you. You are obligated to pay. So in this way, we have multiple obligations. If we are in the karmic world and its resultant reactions, we have to go through. But it is said, Sarvatmanaya Sharanam Sharanyam. If we are taking wholeheartedly this shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Gato Mukundam, will go back to him. And Pariritya Krityam. Pariritya Krityam means all the obligations will be left behind. There is no need. If we are obligated to Lord Shri Krishna, the life giver, the energy giver, he did the creation for our education. He did everything for us and our benefit. If we become obligated to him, then there are no more obligations to be ever performed. Otherwise, your life will be finished in putting obligations after obligations. You never know. As far as obligations are concerned, Chanakya Pandit also said, Rina Karta Pita Shatru. If a father has accumulated some debts and he leaves the body, that father, even after death, is considered to be an enemy of the family. Why? Because he left the obligation on us to fulfill. Children hate their fathers. The Rina Karta Pita Shatru, Mata Shatru Vyabhicharini. If the mother becomes like a prostitute, then who is to be educated properly? Who will be taken care by a mother properly? Children will not grow in a good consciousness. No. Rupavati Bharya Shatru. If you bring in a very beautiful bride in your home, she will become pinprick in the eyes of others and will create animosity. And Putra Shatru Apandita. If the son remains an idiot, does not know what to do and what not to do, he cannot run the household, cannot upkeep the prestige of his family. So he becomes the pinprick as an enemy in the family. So all these four members, if they do not perform their obligatory works properly, they are considered to be the enemies within the family. So the idea is that material activities have limitations, because within that jurisdiction of limitation, we are made to come to understand that ultimate obligation we belong to is only to Krishna and nobody else. So all the karma should be diverted to the pleasure of Krishna and according to his advice. Arjun did it, and that becomes the perfect devotional service. So never mind, devotional service is not only ringing the bell, but our day-to-day present occupation is also becoming devotional service. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that sthane sthita. You don't have to go out and search for what is the best occupation. You are not on a job hunting. No. Sthane sthita. Stay wherever you are, in whichever position you have. But understand the verdict of the Shastra. And the verdict of the Shastra is that engage your employment in pleasure of Lord Shri Krishna. So I would like to stop here. I was told that I should speak something about Srimati Radharani, because her reappearance just went last week. Srimati Radharani, Avirbhav. The word Avirbhav has been translated as reappearance. Not only appearance, but reappearance, because it's a continual process. And every year we are going to celebrate it. Krishna reappears because he appeared somewhere else after so-called disappearance, but he never disappeared. He left his influence, he left his dham as a shadow, and he's left his super excellent leelas. So we can remember when Krishna left, Krishna swadhamopagate dharma jnanadivi saha kalav nashta drashamesha purano arko atunodita. When Lord Krishna leaves, factually he will take his dharma along with him, his dham along with him, knowledge also along with him, all the realization. But what does he leave behind? He leaves behind his dearmost devotees. And he left them engaged in glorification of his super excellent activities. So the compilation of these super excellent activities, according to the 12 Mahajans, are described in glorification of Lord Shri Krishna. But the important point is what Radharani has to do with it. So, in our tradition of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we do not worship Radharani directly as the transcendental moiety, even though we worship in the form of deity, but we are told to worship them as Lakshmi Narayan. So, why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instituted this? He took the Radharani worship is the highest worship, and acknowledging this, the followers of Radharani, the gopis, they perform the topmost devotional service. So these are two items from Nimbark Sampradaya that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invested in our simultaneously oneness and difference, which is very inconceivable, the philosophy of Achintya Bheda, Bheda Tattva. And yet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all our Sampradaya Acharyas do not speak of Radharani too much, of the feminine aspect of personification. Rather, divinity aspect in personification is required. And that's why the Radha Tattva has to be understood in the form of Ladini Shakti. We are chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, where Hara is the internal potency, Ladini Shakti, to address for the approach to Lord Shri Krishna, who is all attractive, and Ram, who is the all pleasure personality of Godhead. Is the same Lord Krishna. Kru means all supportive element, and Na means all pleasurable element. So both are perfectly embedded, all attractiveness and all pleasure of a reservoir of the pleasure. Both are included in Krishna, and perfectly well. So this personality can be only understood with the purpose for which he is separated from his Vamanga as Radharani. So Krishna's internal potency, Ladini Shakti, has been glorified in Chaitanya Charitamritam. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is considered to be the Lord Shri Krishna along with Srimati Radharani in unification in the form of a devotee. In the form of a devotee. When Radha Krishna combines, the worship becomes of a devotee. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is the topmost devotee, but he is none other than Radha Krishna combined. Why they became separate as Radha and Krishna? Because Krishna wanted to enjoy the pleasure of his own potency. He knows that he is all attractive and everybody is attracted to him. But why they are getting pleasure? Through whom? Which agency? That is Ladini Shakti. So Krishna wanted to enjoy his pastimes with his own internal potency, Ladini Shakti. Therefore, he manifested her into Radharani. So from one personality, singular personality, he became. But again, Krishna wanted to enjoy. He wanted to relish what Radharani herself was tasting, the nectar, why she is so much attractive to me, and what is in that love that she enjoys, that I cannot even taste. The devotees are not secondary enjoyers. Devotees become primary enjoyers interacting with Krishna. Krishna provides so much enjoyment that the devotees cannot forget. Even in separation, they will keep on enjoying. So to exhibit these internal reasons, then three reasons that have been given. The first reason being, what is in me that Radharani is so much attracted to? Then why she is tasting the love in so much rapt that I cannot taste. Now, what is the third one? What is the give me. Could be
the internal reasons.
First one, what is in me that attracts Radharani the most? First one, the second one, nobody surpasses Radharani in serving. So what is her mood that I cannot realize? And the third thing, that her love, she tastes so much relishment that I want to taste how she how her love is tasting. So the three internal reasons are there. So he decided to come back in Kali Yuga. The external reasons are to spread the holy name in Kali Yuga, so everybody can be sent back home, back to Godhead. But this is the way to kill the demon and convert them into devotee, rather than kill the demoniac mentality by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But the three internal reasons are the formation of, again, the two entities become one in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or in the form of a devotee. A devotee is the combination of Radha Krishna Nahi and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fulfilled that in perfectness. So we are following in the footsteps of this most in-depth truth for the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the garb of a devotee through his intimate associates. So our process is going back home, back to Godhead and Golok Vrindavan, but without knowing the internal desires of Lord Shri Krishna, that Radharani fulfills it. How can we ever go in that realm and take up the tutelage to become Gopi Bhartuhu Padakamalayoho Dasa Dasa Dasanudas? It is through the mercy of Radharani, Now he has appeared as a pure devotee in the form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with fair complexions, otherwise, what is the difference between Gauranga and Gaurangi? So Srila Prabhupada would explain very esoterically that these are not the love affairs between a boy and girl, or this is not some kind of a village, narration of a cowherd boy and cowherd girl. No, this is not the thing, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, is having his original Bhagwan Swayam aspect is a Gopa. That is his most attractive, feature, not the 400 Narayan form. So, understanding the Ladini potency, we come to follow a very strict discipline led by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Goswamis in order to put us into the perfect perspective of going back home, back to Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada would not describe anything else other than this esoteric appearance of Ladini Shakti Yasma. That is through the discipline of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it is a sure perfected way to come back to Godhead in Vrindavan. Chaitanya re sangi sange nitya siddha kari mane je jaye Vrajendra Sutta pass. If you want to go to Vrajendra Sut, not Vasudeva, not Sankarsana, not Pradyumna, not Aniruddha, but if you want to go to Vrajendra Sutta, then you have to follow in the footsteps of the faithful servants, intimate associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So thank you very much. If there are any questions or comments, please.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your enlightening class. I have unmuted all the devotees. So any devotees have any questions? Please, you can unmute your mic and ask Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Jai.
Maharaj, can you that three reasons repeated? The internal reason, don't surpassing the other love, and love to Krishna's relations. That third reason, first one.
Internal reasons.
Internal. What is in me that attracts Radharani the most? That is called Rupa Madhuri. Then the second one, that understand the transcendental mellow of himself. All right. Then Lord Krishna is all sweetness. Radharani's attraction for Krishna is sublime, and to experience that attraction and understand the transcendental sweetness of himself, this all attractive means Rupa Madhuri. He accepts the mentality of Radharani. All right. Another reason is that Lord Chaitanya was to enjoy the bliss tested by Radharani. How come she loves and relishes the love? So I cannot do that because she relishes me and my love, which is not different. So I want to taste what she is tasting. That is the third reason. Okay. The first reason, the subject, okay, here it is. The first purpose was to relish the position of Srimati Radharani, who is the prime reciprocator of the transcendental love of Shri Krishna. Means Radharani's attractiveness was due to her loving transactions. So the subject of those loving transactions is Lord himself, and Radharani is the object. Thus the subject and the Lord wants to relish the mellow of the position of the object Radharani. But anyway, these are the three internal reasons for which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared to fulfill Lord Krishna's desire. Means Lord Krishna has to become his own devotee.
Thank you, Maharaja. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna devotees, any other questions we have?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Tanvat Pranam.
Yes, Mataji, please you can ask Mataji. Yeah, Maharaj is there.
Prabhuji, Guru Maharaji, in your first half, you explained that everything that is given to us by Krishna's mercy, and we need to actually use everything in the service of Lord, either through artha or if we get through our intelligence or other means. But if we are not doing that, then that is called cheating, right? We are doing cheating with Krishna.
Well, it's not cheating. You have an internal desire to do more and more. So whatever you do, you are not satisfied with that. That is obviously, but I don't think it is called cheating. You can't cheat your own consciousness because somehow or another, in the household life, there is obligations. The first and foremost obligation is to Krishna. The second is to Guru. The third is to the parents. And these obligations are generally carried by the head of the household, and the wife, cooperates to perform that. There are obligations to the forefathers. There are obligations to the society and all the members of the animal and other living entities that we must provide. So household life is for providing or provision. Just like the demigods are also wholesalers to provide to the mankind, and they have a mutual relationship of oblations, and their part of offering is always to be given. Similarly, forefathers have also the obligatory aspect that we have to do the Shraddha ceremony for him. All right. Then help us to live cooperatively, then naturally we are obligated to them too. We must provide, a householder should provide and become responsible for them. Animals are there, even the dogs, even a crow has to be fed. So that is the householder life. It has been considered to be the ideal householder life, where the original obligation becomes, to Lord Shri Krishna. And gradually, we can decrease the other obligations by concentrating more on Krishna's obligations. Then it will be worth it. And that might require some time. After all, our life is just like a little bubble. It can burst anytime. In the span of Brahma's life, our life is tottering. Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala. So within that limited period that we have, Krishna is giving us chance to come to our intelligent discrimination. If we favor Lord Krishna more by sacrificing for him more, then we cut the distance of going back home, back to Godhead. Our journey will be easier.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Any other questions are there, or you would like to express our gratitude to Maharaj? Manibhushan Krishna Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj. Maharaj, today we are nearing to Bhadra Purnima. Maharaj, if you can shower little mercy on Bhadra Purnima, it will be useful for all the devotees.
Bhadra means auspicious, right? And on this day, we distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets with determination. Why? Because there is nothing more auspicious for our guide in devotional service as Srimad Bhagavatam. So people should be aware of the transcendental literature translated by Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. That is the best Bhadra activity. Bhadra means auspicious. Spreading Krishna consciousness is the most important auspicious activity on the planet Earth. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation and showering your mercy for all of us. On behalf of all assembled devotees and Kanaya Desh Yatra, we wish to thank you by chanting 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. All together, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Guruji, Dandat Pranam.
Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Dhanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo
Nanda Kodi
Kodi
Vaishnava
Vaishnava
Ki
Ki Jai
Prabhupada
Srila
Ki Jai,
Prabhupada
Srimad
Ki
Bhagavad
Jai
Gita Ki Jai,
Jai
Guru Maharaj Ki Jai, Hare Krishna. Traditional devotees, we are nearing Bhadra Purnima as we already discussed. And this is very important day for all the Vaishnavas. So it is mentioned, as we discussed last time also, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned in 12th canto, 13th chapter of 13th verse, in the full moon day of the month of Bhadra, one places Srimad Bhagavatam on his golden throne and gives it as a gift. He will attain the supreme transcendental destination. That much importance is there. And also it is mentioned in Sanatana Goswami's Krishna Leelastava, O Holy Bhagavata, you are my only company, my only friend and my guru. You are my greatest treasure and my personal savior. You are the emblem of my highest fortune and the very form of ecstasy. I offer my obeisances unto you. So this year we have kept a goal of 25,000 Bhagavatam sets all over the world. during this Bhadra Purnima celebration. So everybody can part of this, then only we can able to achieve this. And we have Srimad Bhagavatam in different languages, almost all the languages. It's available in Indian languages. And we have 12 cantos, everybody knows, and it is printed in 18 books. And also, it is available in English with 44 volumes. It is a small size, not a big book like that normal book. This is pocket type book. It is 44 volumes also available. And also on the 20th of September, on the Bhadra Purnima day, we are having a yajna. So on that day, all the participants, those who are participating in the Bhadra Purnima, this Srimad Bhagavatam promotion, if anybody is taking, their names will be included and they will be the Yajnacharya for that particular yajna. So please come forward. You can take your own copy or you can donate. You can gift it to somebody. Those who are not available, don't have the Bhagavatam. This is the best opportunity. And we are having all the languages: Hindi, Telugu, Marathi, Bengali, Kannada, Gujarati, Oriya, Tamil, Malayalam, and English. These are the rates for the Kuwait dinars. So you can just give your address and we will be sending to your home by parcel, because it is almost 23 kilos of weight is there, all the 18 books. So we'll be sending to you by parcel service, home delivery. This price is including the parcel charge.
This is home delivery or sometimes
No, home delivery. This is home delivery only we mentioned. Maybe it is in the remote areas. Maybe we will be sending by post office, but you have to take it from post office.
That is only for remote areas.
Yeah, remote areas. All other areas will be in home delivery service.
Yes.
Those who are in the remote area, they have to go to post office and take the parcel, because they will not deliver to your home, because postman will not carry this luggage. So you have to go to the post office and take it. And for this year, you can contact any of these devotees. These numbers are available. You can contact any of the devotee and they will take the order and we will be serve you. Hare Krishna. Any questions on this Bhadra Purnima? You can ask now.
Last date, Prabhu, to get the orders?
Actually, 20th is the Bhadra Purnima day, but we have kept up to 31st of December.
Okay.
This 25,000 sets, we kept it up to December 31st. So everybody can participate. And moreover, tomorrow there will be a special session for all the Middle East devotees. His Holiness Jaipada Swami Guru Maharaj and Vaisheshika Prabhu and His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Sai Maharaj and all the Middle East leaders will be participating in this special event. So everybody can participate. We will be sharing the link, especially those who are directly involving the book distribution. They can be in the Zoom account, and others they can be in the YouTube also. It will be telecasted both the way. So they will be giving the importance and what is the benefits you are going to get when participating this. So please join tomorrow evening 6 to 7 p.m. Hare Krishna.
So tomorrow we will not have this Bhagavatam.
Yeah, I am requesting Prabhuji to keep it possible to today. If Prabhuji is available, we'll keep that Bhagavatam session today, and tomorrow we'll keep it for Bhadra Purnima special class.
Okay.
And everybody knows today is very auspicious Ekadashi. So hope everybody is fasting. And today is Vamana Dwadashi is tomorrow. So we'll be fasting up to 12 o'clock today for tomorrow's Vamana Dwadashi. And one can break the fast tomorrow.
And tomorrow also Srimad Bhagavatam, we have a special class on appearance of Shiva Vamana Dev morning.
Yeah.
9:30.
9:30, okay.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. So
Hare
today evening the Chaitanya Charitamrita class will not be there, but please look into evening possible. We will keep it Srimad Bhagavatam 10th Canto class